Hello everyone, Time to Grind here, and today I wanted to talk about Jackbox Party Pack 7. And Jackbox Party Pack 7 is the new yearly collection of Jackbox games that are a ton of fun to play, and I think this is one of the best packs in a long time. Every year I instantly buy the new Jackbox Party Pack because they're just so much fun to play in party situations or with family, and it's just so easy to throw up Jackbox and have a crap ton of people play together. And if you've never played Jackbox before, pretty much how they work is you turn the game on and everyone can join in on their phones using a room code, and you control the game with your phone. So you don't have to worry about having 8 different controllers, you just put the game up and then everyone can join in with their phones. And since each party pack contains several games, I'm going to give a brief overview and review for each game in the pack, and then at the end of the video I'll rate the games from best to worst, so stay tuned until the end to see my list. So the first game in the pack is Quiplash 3, and if you've played any previous Jackbox games, you probably have played Quiplash before. In it, every player gets prompts with fill in the blanks that you try to create the funniest or most clever answers you can, and the game gives the same prompt to people in pairs, so everyone will vote on which answer they thought was more clever or funny, and then the person with the most points at the end of the game wins. And this version of Quiplash has some unique rounds to spice things up, along with obviously an abundance of new prompts. Also, you can make your own questions in the game if you want, and what's really cool is you can actually play other people's custom-made questions in a featured content tab, so that is awesome as well and will help with kind of the longevity of it. And the art style is this really cool looking claymation vibe, and so overall this is probably going to be a lot of players' favorite game in the pack just because of how popular Quiplash was in previous packs. Quiplash has always been a fan favorite, so a new installment of it with new features and prompts is just kind of by default bound to be great. The next game in the pack is The Devils and the Details, and in it every single person is on a team of devils trying to do everyday human chores to fit in. So the gameplay consists of there being a huge list of chores on everyone's phones, and when you do them there's kind of like small and simple mini games that you must complete to get points for the family. And there's also chores you have to do with other players, so one player might have to look for a specific battery in a pile of random batteries, and the person helping out will have kind of a description of the specific battery you need to find, so they'll, out loud kind of help explain, but then everyone's talking over each other to help each other. And there's also selfish tasks that you can do that won't help your family at all, but it'll give you points as an individual unless you get caught. So you kind of have to balance, trying to help the family as a whole, but then also, being selfish and just trying to get your own points. And this game has a very interesting and unique premise, but my problem with it is all of the chores you're doing kind of feel like actual chores. I think if the minigames had been a little more fun, almost a little bit more like WarioWare, the game could have been incredibly fun, but every single task you do just consists of you doing the most mundane things ever. Like one of the tasks is you just look through a phone book for a specific phone number and then you type it in. So it kind of makes the game fall a little bit flat in my opinion, but some people might enjoy this type of cooperative game. The next game is a drawing-based game called Champed Up that is stupid fun and honestly one of my favorite drawing-based Jackbox games ever. In it, each player draws and names a champion to fight others, and then you get to create another champion that will challenge one of the other players' champion. Then the round starts and each person votes on who they think would win in specific scenarios, not just, all-out fights, but, they'll kind of be different scenarios for each fight. And in the later rounds, you can actually tag in your previous fighters, which is really cool. And one really awesome feature about this game is if you continue playing with the same players across multiple games, when it comes time to tag in some of your other fighters, you actually can use your fighters from previous rounds, which is really awesome. Also, the music in this game is way better than it has any right to be. I just want to play you a quick snippet of some of the music.
20-second warning, name those characters!
The next game is called Talking Points, and it's one of the games that you kind of need to have the right group of people to play because it's less of a competition and more just of a fun little experience. In it, each player will give speeches, kind of like TED Talks, to the other players, and when it's your turn to give the TED Talk, another person acts as your assistant by choosing the words you have to read and what pictures accompany your PowerPoint. And everyone can like or dislike your speech at any time, and this is what determines how many points you get, but overall you should just be playing this game to give hilarious speeches to your friends or family, and it's pretty fun when you get a group of people that really commit to the gimmick of the game and just, get way too serious trying to give these speeches. And the last but definitely not least game is called Blather Round, and it's kind of like a game of charades almost. In it, each player chooses a word from a list of 3, and it could be a person, a place, or a thing, and when it's their turn, they try to form sentences with a very limited amount of words to give the other players hints. And the entire time, the other players are trying to guess the word, and sometimes the person who is giving the hints can even include the previous guesses in their hints. So say someone said the Hulk, but the real word was like a different superhero, the person giving hints could make a sentence saying it's very similar to the Hulk, or it's nothing like the Hulk. And if someone guesses the correct word, then they, along with the person giving the hints, gets points, and if they used any other words from other people's guesses, they get points as well. And so overall, this one is really fun because I haven't really played a charades-like game in a Jackbox Party Pack yet, so it's very fun and very unique experience. And so overall, I absolutely loved this party pack. I loved 4 out of the 5 games, and the one I didn't like, I didn't hate, it just wasn't the most fun to me. So now I want to rate all of the games in order from best to worst in my opinion. So overall, I think the best pack in the entire game is actually Blather Round. I think this one is one of the best games in the pack because it's one of the most unique games in my opinion, and I think that of all the games in the pack, this is going to be one of the ones that I keep playing in the future just because of how much variety and fun there is and how different it is from a lot of the other, Jackbox games in previous packs. I think the next best game is Quiplash 3. There isn't anything super unique or exciting about this game, but come on, it is Quiplash. My friend group has always liked Quiplash more than most of the other Jackbox games, so just having a fresh new installment of it is going to be huge for us. The next game would have to be Champed Up. I always love the drawing-based games, and I really love the concept of creating fighters to fight each other, and I still cannot get over how fire the music is in this game. The next game would be Talking Points, and I think this game is a ton of fun, but it's one of those that I don't see myself playing a crazy amount, plus you have to have the right group of people to have fun with it, but by no means is it bad. It provided some hilarious moments in my time of playing with it. I can't really say it's better than the previous games I mentioned. And that leaves us with The Devils and the Details, and I don't think it is a terrible game. I personally didn't find it the most enjoyable, mainly due to the minigames being kind of bland and feeling like chores themselves. And so that's how I would rate all the games in the Jackbox Party Pack 7, but I would absolutely love to hear your guys' ratings on each of the games if you have, seen or played the game for yourself. So let me know in the comments down below. Either let me know how you would rank each of the 5 games, from your best to worst, or just let me know which one is your overall favorite. And so overall, if you are a fan of Jackbox games, you definitely need to pick this one up because I genuinely feel like this is one of the best party packs they have ever put out. Even though I'm not a big fan of The Devils and the Details, if you ignore that game, there are still 4 crazy good games in this pack, and you might actually enjoy The Devils and the Details, so I highly, highly recommend the Jackbox Party Pack 7. And if you enjoyed this video, then consider leaving a like down below and subscribing to see more content. I make about 2 to 3 video reviews a week, along with 2 to 3 Let's Plays a week, so subscribe and ring that bell like all the big boy YouTubers say to see those in the future. And if you can't get enough of me, I also have a podcast called Media Crash, where every episode we talk about a different genre of games or movies or TV, and last episode we actually talked about just Pokemon as a franchise, so check that out if it interests you at all. And if you're going to be grinding some games of Jackbox Party Pack 7 with some friends or family, I hope you guys have fun, and see you all next time.